The Granthis. Hey, how's everyone doing? Kat here, Katharina. Today I want to talk about something that sounds very mystical in yoga. Yeah, but it's actually quite relatable and very normal in everyday's life. The Granthis. What? Yeah, the Granthis. The word Granthi Rugli means knot, and that's exactly how you can imagine them. Not as something dramatic or super esoteric, but more like an inner knot, a kind of blockade that prevents things from flowing freely. Oh no, I'm talking about energy and flowing, but you can also think of it as a human potential. Your potential gets limited. Your potential to truly be yourself. So even if I use the word energy or energy flow, feel free to think of it as a potential instead. In yoga, it's said that our life force, called prana in Sanskrit, flows through subtle channels in the body, called nadis, kind of like acupuncture, where specific energy points are used as well. The most important energy channel, the big one in yoga, is the Sushumna Nadi. It runs roughly along the spine. Not exactly where the spine is, but close enough so you can maybe imagine or visualize it. Along this channel, there are three main points or nodes where the nodes, the Granthis, can form and meet and build. This happens because Ida and Pingala, the left and the right side and energy line, which you can imagine as two spiraling energy currents, like snakily around, moving around the Sushumna. Say they met at 7 points, and 3 of those are especially relevant today because these are the 3 Granthis, the 3 major nodes. They hold us back, not physically, but intentionally, mentally. They bind us to habits, fear, emotions, identities, belief systems, and much more. And the interesting thing is you often notice them very clearly in everyday life, even if you've never ever read a single yoga philosophy book or connected it to yoga at all. The first one is called the Brahma Granthi. It's located in the area of the root chakra. This one is about matter, safety, material stuff, money, and survival instinct. Very instinctual, our primal instinct, if you want to call it like that. In everyday life, this Granthi often shows up as holding on tightly to things like money, possessions, control, and security at all cost. For example, you want to change your job because it makes you unhappy, but you stay because you're afraid you won't have enough money when you leave. Or you cling to routines that no longer serve you just because they're familiar. Or you stay with a partner you don't really love because they or he provide material security. You often feel this Granthi as a kind of, let's call it heaviness, would press you down, as inner rigidity, as constant worry about the future. What will happen? What is tomorrow? Stuff like that. You can't really resolve this by telling yourself that money doesn't matter or that you just need to manifest it. No. What really helps is slowly building trust. Yep, trust is the key here. Trust in yourself, trust in your decisions, and in life. This can be improved through grounding, what means not having overly unrealistic Delulu goals, okay? But staying connected to reality, please. So this is really important. Movement helps. Do a bit sport. Breathing helps. Certain breathing technique especially. You can also improve it through conscious, everyday decisions where you realize I'm safe even when I let go. In yoga, standing poses or child pose can help, as well as conscious breathing and bandhas, but also very practical things like creating order in your life, cleaning up your shit, making space, or having a clear daily rhythm. Of course, without becoming obsessive with that natural cleaning stuff, that you have maybe a bit fun with it. The second Granthi is the Vishnu Granthi. It's located in the heart area. This one is about emotional attachment, relationship, love, but also dependency. In everyday life, this often shows up very clearly. You stay, let's say again, in a relationship, even though it doesn't feel good, because this time it's not a matter what is important or the money. You be just afraid of being alone. You can't be alone at all. Or you constantly adapt yourself to be loved and to receive attention like an attention seeker, or you can't forgive and carry old wounds with you for years. This grunty often feels like tightness in the chest, like there's not enough space to breathe, like pulling like a constant back and forth between closeness and distance. This isn't about having no emotions at all. It's about feeling them without getting lost in them. You can improve this by learning to allow emotions without immediately judging them, or suppressing them, or manipulating, influencing them, or trying to control them. Just let it go. Meditation helps a lot here. Heart-opening postures help. Backbendings. Honest, authentic conversations help. Really rare this time, but this is really helpful. And above all, self-compassion. Not self-pity, compassion. The more you can hold yourself, the less you need to hold on to others or depend on them. Then we have the third and least grunty. It's the Rudra grunty. It's located in the throat, or between the throat or forehead area, something around that. It's not really a fixed point always. And this one might be the most subtle of all. Why? Because this is where the famous ego mind comes in. The image we've built it of ourselves in everyday life. This can show up as strongly identifying with your role, your name, your job, your family, your knowledge, and so on. Even identifying with your spiritual practice. Many spiritual people do this too. By the way, I just want to point it out here. They say things like, well, I know the truth, or I already understood it all, and so on. Maybe you heard about that already. You notice this grunty when criticism feels like a personal attack, when you absolutely need to be right, or when you think you're further along or better than others. This grunty often feels like inner pressure, constant thinking, overthinking, a need to prove yourself. What helps most here is silence, observation, letting go of concepts, meditation without a clear goal. Not collecting more knowledge, but learning that you don't need to know everything. In yoga, the goal is not to fight these grunties, no, it's to recognize them and slowly loosen them, like during a massage. Everyone has all three, and they change, depending on life phases, depending on situations. Some days you're stuck in the Brahma grunty because security feels important. Other days the Vishnu grunty is active because emotions are coming up. And sometimes the Rudra grunty shows itself when you identify strongly with something. And sometimes all of them are active or loosened, or somewhere in between. There are many variations. Yoga doesn't mean being perfect. It means being honest with yourself and wanting to grow, learning through life. And the more these notes loosen, the more freely energy flows, the more you amplify you or using your whole potential, the calmer the mind becomes and the clearer your view of yourself gets. Not because you become someone else, no, but because you stop holding on, limiting yourself and trying to fit into cliches while still staying respectful toward others. That might be the deepest practice of yoga. I hope I was able to explain this well enough to you guys. Have you ever noticed a note or blockade, one of the grunty, like I have explained in your own life maybe? And if so, at what moment did it show up? Feel free to leave a comment to tell me about it. I'm looking forward to your feedback, and see you soon. See you around.